Here we go, hot dog lovers. We're talking about the menu now. Now, we've gotten over the hard part. The health inspector's done. That is done. Finished. Now we're smooth selling. Now we're getting more to the money making process. Okay? Of course, we're selling hot dogs. But here's the thing. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, don't go for those hot dogs that are part pork and all of that jazz. No, a chicken and turkey. No. Go for an all beef frank. You go for an all beef frank, you're going to get everybody except Hindus. But I don't think there's many Hindus in America. But maybe there are. I don't know. But anyways, an all beef hot dog is going to be good. You're going to get people to say, hey, can you do a vegetarian dog? Now we can bring the Hindus back in. You know, they're not vegetarians, but they don't like beef. Beef is the cow is a sacred animal for them. But here's the thing about getting specialty dogs. I don't think it's worth it, because maybe out of 300-400 people that you sell to, you may get one that wants a vegetarian dog or something like that. So I don't know if it's actually worth doing it. And while I'm on the subject of hot dogs, and you're all getting your all beef, there's many different types of hot dogs. Meaning, like, there's 7-in-1, there's 8-in-1. A lot of people like the 8-in-1 hot dog. Me myself, I like the 4-in-1. And the reason why is because I pride myself on not just a hot dog, all beef hot dog, on being the biggest hot dog in my area. Okay? So at first we looked at it and was like, there's no way that people are going to be able to eat that thing. That hot dog is going to stretch their mouth out, right? Right? But here's the thing. It's actually working. Because now, when you tell people the price, which we'll talk about later, when they look at that price, they're like, oh my gosh! At first I thought you were charging too much for a hot dog. Now that I see that hot dog is worth that price. So we're not into giving hot dogs away. So this may be something that you want to think about as far as when it comes to selling your hot dog. So if I had to give you a suggestion, I would say 4-in-1. Go for it. You know, if you charge 8-in-1 and stuff like that, in some places you'll be able to charge a price, but I feel like I'm not giving people their money worth. Just me. So we have the hot dogs. We're talking about the all beef. Don't worry about the vegetarians or whatever. Unless you live in some place like Berkeley, then yeah, it makes sense. But if you live in a rural town or somewhere where there's only a few vegetarians, you can just say, hey, you know what? I don't have any vegetarian dogs. Okay. The bun, which is very important. Some of you guys may want to go and get a fancy bun that's like a French type bun with poppy seeds. That may not where you want to be in the beginning. Okay? I have a regular Sam's Club soft bun. Comes 16 in a pack, does the job. And people tell me it's the best hot dog. It's the best hot dog they've had in their life. Okay? So, do you need the bun? Not really. And my hot dog actually extends outside of the bun, which makes the hot dog, I think, look even bigger. So that's what I would say. Now, if you get into the Chicago style dog and things like that, and be careful. I mean, because here's the thing. If you can't charge a good price for your hot dog, you know, I don't know if I will go into the Chicago style dog. I haven't made that leap yet, because I am getting ready to actually do to bring on a signature dog, and maybe one or two. But you gotta keep it simple, guys. Don't go in there thinking, I want to make a Chicago style dog, I want to make a New York style dog, and you just make all these dogs, and you're sweating over there trying to make all these different dogs and all these different things, and you're killing yourself. You're gonna get lines upon lines upon lines, and unless you have a lot of help, you may want to just introduce simple first. Because hear me out on this one. If you go into creating all these different style dogs, right? Remember, it's easier to move up than move back. Once you train your crowd and you've made that, you're going to have to continuously make it. I talked to a guy in Pennsylvania, and he was talking to me how when he started off, he wanted to do all these different dogs. And now I'm getting more from my dog, which is a plain dog, than he's getting from his specialty dogs. But he was the only one there for a while, but he trained his customers the wrong way. So like I said, I can always step up because my customers have always told me, hey, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? So there are dogs that I'm actually working on. What else do I have here? Condiments. Don't get crazy with this. Okay. Now with my lunch crowd, I make sure that I take care of those guys. I actually had an idea from a guy who had all these different types of condiments. So I had like jalapeno mustard, horseradish, I had mango mustard, I've had all these different types of mustards and different types of sauces and things like that. So when I show up for my lunch crowd, man, I have a spread and they get excited like, oh, we can try this, we can try that. We have the hot sauce, the hot peppers, and all these kind of things, you know. Great things to try, right? And great things to have, and it makes your presentation look good. But when you're selling, hear me out on this one, when you're selling to that rowdy crowd at nighttime, you don't want to take all that stuff. I've had a guy who, you know, when I bring sauerkraut, I bring like a little small container, you know, because that's usually what it takes, and I put the sauerkraut in, and everybody usually just goes in and takes their amount and put it on a hot dog. But for this one night, I had a guy come in, and I'm talking about he took maybe half of the container of sauerkraut and put it on his dog, and only left the other customers, a very little amount. And I was upset. I'm like, you know, why did you do this? But the thing is, you got to be careful with the bar kraut. I only take mustard, ketchup, mayo, sauerkraut, sweet relish. That's it. I'm not bringing any specialty sauces out there. None of that. Because that crowd right there will abuse it. They'll knock over your stuff. You'll get broken. I mean, you will have a headache if you try to treat. And we're not trying to say that we're mistreating your customers. That's not what we're saying. I'm just saying that, remember, when you put alcohol in the mix, you got a different scenario, right? So my condiments and everything, if you got your trusty Sam's Club, that's where you go. If you have a Costco, that's where you go. And you buy in bulk. You know, I have sweet relish still sitting in my refrigerator that I bought in Costco, and it's lasting me for a long time, and it's much cheaper to buy in bulk than to buy small little containers. So Sam's Club and these places should have exactly what you want. So don't sweat the small stuff over that. We talked about the buns. Steamed or unsteamed. I live in South Dakota. Being that I live in South Dakota, if I were to operate my cart right now and try not to steam a bun, my bun would break apart. When the temperature gets a certain temperature, those buns are going to break apart, right? Now, I would have to steam my hot dog. So you can get a steamer. We kind of made a makeshift steamer where we had like a pan, and we cut some holes into a aluminum pan, and when that steam rose up, we had our hot dogs wrapped in aluminum foil, and we set them down, covered it up, and it steamed the hot dogs, right? Turn it on for a little bit and turn it off. So it steamed the hot dogs. It was ready to go. So, excuse me. So that's what we did. But summertime, springtime, we would just take the hot dogs out of those, take those buns out of that package, put that hot dog on it. People said it was the best dog in their life. So do you have to do steamed? I don't know. Because when we first received the cart, we bought the cart, the guy who sold us the cart was like, hey, I'm gonna throw in this smoker, and you can go over there and smoke these buns and have hot pipe and buns and all this, right? And that guy, his job was, he went to school for culinary arts. And what I've learned about the artists and people like that, they want to go over and beyond. So I'm sitting over there, running back and forth, taking buns out of this smoker. And this is when I first started. Taking buns out of this smoker, putting it over here and all this. And I'm like, and I wasn't keeping up. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And then sometimes I would burn the buns if a customer came. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to try a regular bun. And I put that hot dog on there, and I never forget it. Gave the customer the dog, and he looked at me and was like, man, this is the best dog I had in my life. Don't sweat the small stuff. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't try to become a chef extraordinaire with this hot dog cart. Keep it simple. People want to eat. They want something fast, they want something in a hurry, and they want something tasty. Now, with that said, what kind of dog do you want to sell? Now, everybody heard of Nathan's hot dogs from the famous Nathan's hot dog eating contest. You know, you have those dogs, and they have a pretty big dog. Actually, in the area I live in now, they actually have a contract to make Nathan's dog. But do I sell Nathan's dogs? No. I sell a brand of dogs called Farmland. Now, some people I know who are hot dog vendors actually go to Sam's Club and purchase Nathan's dogs. Me, myself, I'm lucky. I have a manufacturer here that I go directly to and I buy those dogs, and I stock up my deep freezer. I bought up one deep freezer for that reason. When I go there, I'm not buying 1-2 packages, because my hot dogs do not come in a package. They come in a box. And it's 2 in a box, so it's 42 a box. I fill up my deep freezer every trip because I want to make sure I have enough. And when my deep freezer gets full, I take the ones at the bottom, put them at the top, and put the other ones down. And that's how I run my operation. That's how I make sure that I stay on top of my inventory. That's what I do, right? So Farmland, and here's the thing. People are saying it's the best dog they had in their life. Best dog they had in their life. You know? So that's just my experience, you know. So don't sweat the small stuff. You know, I have a chili dog. So when you come to my stand, you can get the sauces in the daytime, right? With the ketchup, mustard, sweet relish, dill relish, onions, and sauerkraut. You can get all that, right? But I also have chili. Some people don't like chili. This is something that you definitely want to check with your health department first too, because you want to make sure that the chili you have is actually in a pan is heated, and the chili is hot at all times. So I use chili and cheese. I refrigerate my cheese. Now there's another stipulation about this. Some states may not want you to sell cheese, right? But I think a chili hot dog is not justice unless there's cheese on it. So I sell the chili cheese dog along with the chili. So that's what I have, guys. The regular condiments, the ketchup, the mustard, the mayo, which is kind of different from some people. Some people like mayo. Mayo is great on the dog. Dill relish, sweet relish, and then my sauces. Actually, I may do a video about the different types of sauces that I have. Maybe a good brand, a good place to go to find these sauces. I'll do a video about that. I'm actually going to put the notes down on that as far as the different types of sauces. But that's pretty much it when it comes to your menu, especially when you're starting off. Now, when you get your feet wet and you start knowing, you start getting known around town, and you really don't have any competition, you know, but you want to just step up to something simple. Some people like to grill their dog. Some people like a grill. They like to take that boiled hot dog out, throw it on there, grill it a little bit, cut it in the middle, throw some onions on, and voila, you have a hot dog. Me, myself, I just boil my hot dogs. Now, there's another method too, with steaming, boil versus steaming, but that's another video. But that's it, guys. I don't want to overwhelm you. I don't want to scare you or anything. But that's pretty much it for the menu. Is that. So I'll see you at the next course here on the Hot Dog Cart 101 course. So see you next time.